All right, I think we're live. Hello. Thank you guys for coming to watch the My Mellow tournament. I have not been here before, so I'm going to introduce myself. I am Bones, formerly known, I guess, as 206 Bones, the amount of bones that are in the human body. I'm on Twitch at 206 Bones with 2 underscores because every other version of the name was taken. And I am here with Ray.
Hi, everybody. You've seen me a few times, but I'm so honored to be here. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah, and we got a very exciting lineup for today. I believe it is just one match here with Uvia versus OPS. So these are, I think I'm pretty familiar with Uvia. Because I think I've seen their players before. But I'm definitely really excited to see what OPS brings to the table as well. I know that there's probably going to be some interesting picks going on. I have heard rumors of a cowboy possibly showing up at some point, so I would definitely be really excited to see that. As well as a hermit, which not sure how many people here have seen me before, but I get very excited about hermits. So if the teams are listening, then that would be cool. But yeah, yeah, we are going to be on Ever Sleeping Town for our first round here. What?
No, we'll be on Red Church. Ever Sleeping was banned.
Red Church, yes. I misread the thing.
Well, with Red Church, that means that we may end up seeing something who's really strong in this. Soul Weaver is pretty strong on this map, as well as, of course, the Opera Singer is a very strong hunter on this map. It's kind of like her playground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would probably expect, well, you know, there's no expectations really going in, but I would definitely, well, I would like to see an opera singer. She's still at the top, even if she has been somewhat significantly nerfed, and as well as teams obviously have gotten better and better at countering her. I would definitely like to see an opera singer, especially before she gets banned, because I feel like after the first round, you know, you kind of lose that opportunity to really utilize her. And Red Church is also a very good map as well.
Mm-hmm. It's really nice and condensed, which we like to see, which means that it can also work for hunters with a pretty strong chase, though the high walls can make it hard against someone like a Night Watch or a Naiad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Red Church can definitely be, it's almost like deceptively it's like deceptively survivor sided. You would think, you know, because it's so small, and there's not a lot of room to kind of move around, it might, and it does really work for some hunters. Bloody Queen as well can be very strong on it, but as you were saying, Ray, because of the walls, because of like the lack of visibility, it is just so easy to lose track of those survivors. And yeah, it can be very, very strong for survivors, just kind of pallet spam and run. So definitely excited to see how, who is, okay, UV is hunting first, yes. I'm excited to see how OPS survivors are able to kind of take advantage of that.
Yeah, honestly, super exciting to see. I believe we'll be rolling into the ban pick pretty soon, which is always good to see. Let's take a look. So, taking a look, it would be really interesting to maybe see some alternative hunters on this map. I've seen a Feaster be played on this map to a modicum of success recently. Not in this tournament, but just in general. I think it would be pretty interesting to see something like that, or maybe even another hunter who's got a fair amount of map pressure would be fun to see. Maybe a Wax Artist.
I feel like Wax Artist would kind of struggle against the walls here. I would like to see a Hermit. I enjoy Hermit on basically any map. I've been playing a lot of Hermit with like no detention insolence builds because I'm kind of stupid, but it works.
No, I mean, starting to really bring itself back up into the meta. So don't even worry about it.
It's very fun. It's very, very fun. And I feel like on Red Church, it's like almost, I don't know. I feel like if you're going to bring a build that doesn't have detention, I feel like something like Insolence and Confined Space could be very aggressive. But it looks like we're actually going to get into the ban picks now, and Yuvia Hunter is going to ban Seer and Priestess right away, so just not wanting to deal with either of those. Getting Priestess out of the way on this map is also very helpful here, especially when the church itself can be such a strong area for her. And actually, remind me, Ray, are we working with first 2 survivors of each round are permanently banned?
Yes, we are working with the global lock system.
Yay!
Honestly, though, yeah, Priestess is just an absolutely devastating pick for support on this map. There are certain portals that you can set up where it feels like it goes through the entirety of the church. No walls needed. It's honestly, it's a horrible loop to get caught up in as a hunter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see who OPS is going to pick for their first 2 survivors. If they're expecting an opera singer, I would definitely, they could get the gardener here, possibly a lawyer even, if they want to prioritize that decoding. Lawyer can also just be very strong as with rotation, as well as just stealth on Red Church, because when you know where the hunter is at all times, you can just hide completely, and you can't really chase a lawyer anyway. You can, but it's not fun.
No, it's really not.
We nerfed him, and it's still not fun.
We could also potentially see maybe something like an antiquarian or even a psychologist if they're expecting something like a hermit or someone who takes advantage of weird healing. We might see them be thrown away for early global rounds.
Mm-hmm.
This is also a pretty strong map for first officer, so if they wanted to get a strong rescue out of the way, they could absolutely choose him here and lock him away for the rest of the global roster, because we do still have other strong rescues in the mix, like the mercenary.
Yeah, though I do wonder if they will go with a mercenary here. He's not that strong against an opera singer. Especially post nerf, I feel like maybe if they want to lock in a rescuer first, just before any rescuers start getting banned, I feel like maybe a mercenary. First officer is a stronger rescue, I would say, especially against an opera singer, but it's just a lot of mind games with those first 2 survivors being banned. You wouldn't want to lock out the
other options.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, you would not want to lock out, having that first officer in the first match. Great. Then you don't have the first officer for the rest of the 3 rounds, and it's like, okay, well, what do we do now?
Mm-hmm. But it really does kind of force the survivors to think on their toes and plan out their strats to be a little more diverse in terms of character roster, which is something I really admire with the new global system.
Yeah, no, yeah, it definitely makes it interesting too, like from a commentator standpoint as well, because the strategy that goes into like those first 2 bans and the first 2 picks, really, you see some crazy stuff, especially once you get up to like IJL, IVL,
or even IVT.
IVT as well. Yeah. Well, not even just NAAU. They're actually they're doing Japan IVT now, which I haven't seen yet, but I'm very excited to see, because I feel like it kind of evens the playing field, seeing like gameplay from another server that's not official, not from the league. People who have probably normal human lives outside of the game. So I'm very excited to see kind of the variety official tournaments that they're doing now.
Absolutely. And we are going to go ahead and get some of our locks in. We are going to see the Embalmer and the Prisoner brought out onto the playing field.
Wow.
Prisoner is a bit of an interesting choice. And maybe they're expecting a Hermit or even like a Clerk. He counters her pretty well. But
he's
for a
actually kind of
first pick,
useless against Hermit.
yeah, that's true.
It just cancels out the connection, which is ironic. But I'm very excited to see what this prisoner is capable of. I'm a little bit of a prisoner main. Wait, can you see? You can see my Discord icon. Don't look too closely. But I enjoy playing prisoner on Red Church. Just because the ciphers aren't too far away, you can take a lot of advantage of the cipher distribution, and rotating between the ciphers as well is a lot easier. And it's a good map for a decoder. So I'm excited to see how they're able to utilize this prisoner because it's not a common pick.
No, and we are going to go ahead and see a Cowboy ban, which is interesting. With Cowboy's adjustment, I feel like he's kind of, people are saying it's a nerf, but it really is just an adjustment, and an interesting one at that. And he's honestly been pretty hectic in the higher tiers.
I think OPS also has a Cowboy. I was kind of researching the teams before this. I think they are the one that has the Cowboy. So that's definitely, showing a little bit of knowledge of the teams here from Yuvia's Hunter, not wanting to deal with having that Cowboy on the field, because he is... Yeah, I understand how it can be interpreted as a nerf because, you're not rescuing the survivor, but increasing struggle speed, being able to carry a downed survivor, and especially on a map like Red Church, it's very easy to just lose survivors again. The Cowboy has been historically very good on Red Church. There's a lot of, areas where you can lasso through windows, through walls. So yeah, banning that Cowboy here is definitely a good option, and we're going to lock in the Lucky Guy and ban out the Antiquarian. Really not looking for these stunners here, but Lucky Guy obviously can have the gun, but there's not a lot of teammate support here with that Lucky Guy. With the Embalmer and Prisoner, neither of them can pick up an item later in the game, so...
I mean,
we'll
Lucky
see.
Guy... Yeah, with his ability to carry 2 items, he's kind of the jack of all trades and the master of none, which has kind of been both his strength and his weakness, because you really want characters to focus on their specific archetype and do it well, as opposed to one character who can kind of do everything, but only does them a little bit mediocre.
I almost wonder if we could lock in a gardener or a coordinator, maybe a first officer or a mercenary here to round things out, because all those survivors can pick up items. So
That is true,
definitely
and
interested to see what that last pick's going to be.
maybe I'm thinking, but we still don't have our strong rescuer, so we might be seeing maybe, like we said, that Merc or that first officer, if that's what they're planning in terms of a Sangria counter comp. Because with the Lucky Guy pick and the Embalmer pick, this is a pretty classic Sangria counter comp, just to kind of give her stronger chases.
Yeah, I feel like at this point they should probably lock in a rescuer, just because you have 3 survivors. You have the prisoner who can help with decoding as well, but you have 2 more survivors who also don't have decoding debuffs. You can kind of, you can work with a first officer, maybe even a gravekeeper, something crazy like that. Which will honestly, if we're not looking at an opera singer here, let's say we're looking at a hermit or disciple, etc. We could maybe see a gravekeeper coming out, but I would definitely like to see that first officer here, especially since it's free of charge, so to speak. It's not the first 2 band picks. Oh, okay, we're gonna go with the forward. Which, yeah, you know what, Red Church, especially with, the Cowboy and the Antiquarian being banned here, you do, Hunter is obviously afraid of having that harasser on the field, so having that harasser in, and again, you can deal with that 30% decoding debuff because you have a prisoner, you have 2 more survivors who can kind of take over on that decoding.
Yeah, honestly, pretty interesting choice. We are going to go ahead and move into the persona lock phase. Maybe with forward being on the team, we might see maybe 2 tides, we could potentially see that lucky guy with something like 6-9 or maybe 12-6, just to kind of add a little bit more of a time-wasting element to this team, which is, I feel, kind of what they're pushing for.
And that really is the way to go, especially with this current meta. It's just waste as much time as you possibly can. Delay the hunter, obstruct the hunter, having that forward, having the embalmer as well. That is a pretty much like said and done. Ooh, spam bot. It's pretty much said and done on the delay of game sense. And then, of course, you have the prisoner to kind of keep that decoding going when you have two survivors harassing. So, very strong comp here.
Really super interesting to see. The personas are being locked as we speak, and hoping to see a take a look. We are going to see a Mad Eyes as the hunter.
Oh, wait, no, that's right, it is Burb. Oh my god, I completely was not paying attention, but that is something that I should have seen coming. Yeah, this is S-Badge Mad Eyes territory. We are about to see, hopefully, some very, very crazy gameplay. It is so rare to see a Mad Eyes. I think the last time I saw a Mad Eyes was like, would have been IJL, I think, and that was like the last recent. Right? Because we saw Aka Mad Eyes once this year.
We have seen Mad Eyes in this tournament, though. I believe it was the last matchup. It was honestly really awesome to see that Mad Eyes just kind of coming and just decimating.
Yeah, and this is a very good map for Mad Eyes as well. A lot of areas to just trap survivors. I am very excited to see this.
Alrighty, overall, we are looking at no tides on this team, which is an interesting choice. Maybe they're hoping to kind of strengthen out the kites, but no tide, especially on a character maybe like the forward, is an interesting choice for sure.
Yeah, I would definitely anticipate maybe a little bit of that flywheel coming in handy against the walls, but again, you know, that is only just one chance to really dodge those walls, so they are going to have their work cut out for them here. We're going to get into the spawns. Forward going to spawn in the church. Embalmer possibly looking at a first kite here over at the shack. Prisoner spawning within near the graveyard, ready to rotate in there, and Lucky Guy in reception. We've got Mad Eyes spawning up in the broken walls. And yeah, I would definitely anticipate that Embalmer being our first chase here. Once again, I am Bones, I am here with Ray, and we are in for round 1 of LLU versus OPS. Good luck to both teams.
Absolutely. We are going to go ahead and get started as we all spawn into the map. And it looks like Mad Eyes is going to immediately hop onto that console and just kind of take a look around, see if he can spot anybody out in order to just kind of push some walls on. Did go ahead and put a wall on the prisoner spawn, but they're doing a very good job of avoiding the damage thus far.
Yeah, a lot of rapid fire pressure here already. Catching sight of those survivors, just trying to hit them with the walls. It looks like we have managed to get the prisoner with that first wall. And yeah, just taking time, looking around, kind of, I feel like not letting the survivors commit to a cipher, forcing them to rotate around, forcing them to take time, dismantle the consoles. This is going to be a long game. You know, we were talking about wasting time on the survivor side before, but I feel like, especially with a Mad Eyes in play, you know, you can really just drag out these matches.
And we are going to see influence go ahead and take effect here. Honestly, just giving the Mad Eyes a lot more mobility is something that we do see frequently. We are going to see insolence confined with detention, like you said prior, as a build that you like to bring on Hermit.
Yeah, no detention here. But yeah, Insolence Confined is definitely a fun build for this map. And we're going to teleport over to the Prisoner. Prisoner does have a chip. We've also got a chip on Embalmer. That connection is up, though, so we do have the field of imminent electrocution in play. It does look like Mad Eyes is going to get stunned by that. It does only stun 3 times. But yeah, we really just don't want to waste time with breaking that connection here, but just about going to avoid that second shock. And oh, Prisoner running directly into Mad Eyes, but not taking the hit just yet, waiting for that flywheel. Flywheel is not going to come, though. Prisoner is here with broken windows and borrowed time. And with one chip away, it looks like we are going to return to those consoles to try and get a free hit in.
And the ciphers are chugging along pretty healthily. We've got 2 ciphers that are pretty healthy. One in the 80s region and the other one about 60.
Yeah,
we are going to go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Oh, and the prisoner is going to vault into the Mad Eyes, but will stun to just try and get a little bit distance to avoid that death trap.
Yeah, very nicely done there from the prisoner. A lot of just bold plays here. And oh, just missing that heavy hit here. Mad Eyes kind of struggling almost in this area. Prisoner doing a very good job with containing. But we are just seeing so much map control here. It looks like Lucky Guy is actually might be coming into the... Oh, no, just leaving, carrying another item with him. But is that... No, forward is going to not be chipped there. It looks like we're trying to set up for a snowball later in the game, but it's taking quite a bit of time, and hopefully we are going to get that wall onto the prisoner. Prisoner is down at 3 ciphers remaining now. Lucky Guy is about to pop that. But it looks like we are not going to go to basement, but just behind the shack, well out of the way. 2 ciphers are remaining, and Mad Eyes does not have detention, so we might be seeing that final cipher pop and that come into play.
Oh, beautiful chip onto that embalmer, putting him at half health, but it does look like, the forward using about, what, 3/4 of the football in order to get a very long stun. Just look at all that distance.
Yeah, very nicely done there by that forward, just taking a free stun there. I think it was like, yeah, 2/3-ish. Quite a bit of ball used there. And Prisoner is still somewhat in the area, but it does look like we may have lost sight of him. We're going to take... Oh, a beautiful flywheel there from the forward and using that ball just to get away. Mad Eye's looking for that hit, and it looks like we might be able to trap the forward in here. Possibly. Are we going to be able to pull it off? No, maybe? No, the real question is, are we trapped in here with Mad Eyes? Yeah, we are, I think, unless... No, we can't get out here. Forward is completely trapped within the walls and will be going down. We're still at 2 ciphers remaining, but Prisoner has been kind of left alone here. But with these ciphers remaining, the survivors are going to be decoding, and Mad Eyes is going to be able to get a few more chips on them.
We have seen that he has brought the overload out into play, and is just kind of trying to lock out the survivors where he can. The way he's switching through the cameras really rapidly, but trying to grab a good eye on the survivors is a bit of a challenge, especially on a map like this. Those coverings make it real hard to see with the cameras. But we are going to go ahead and taking a look. We are going to see the Lucky Guy come in and use the flare gun in order to get the rescue off successfully. But the forward has actually been trapped away from the Mad Eyes.
Yeah, how did that even happen? The wall like spawned within the chair. Forward rescued on the other side of it. Very unlucky there for the Mad Eyes. But it looks like we are just going to... Oh, and they are going to be able to get that cipher pop.
Honestly, this is not a great situation for the Mad Eyes. We are looking at potentially a 3-man escape, especially since that teleport is now offline.
Yeah, I would say 3-man escape might be the best case scenario here. Prisoner's still in the area, but I don't think any survivors are dead on chair just yet. Mad Eyes does not have detention here. We don't have Tide Turner, but if they're able to get these gates open, I do think that connection is still up between the gates, so Prisoner can open both of them at once if he's given the opportunity to. But it looks like he is just kind of keeping near the Mad Eyes, looking for that tinnitus, and just keeping that pressure on. But this is not looking good for Mad Eyes here today.
And We do also have the Embalmer Coffin still in play, should the Embalmer choose to potentially embalm that prisoner, so when he gets downed, he's immediately on the other side of the gate, or on the other side of the map.
Yeah,
But
looks like all survivors are actually on that side now.
Yeah, but if you take a look, the Mad Eyes is really not letting up with that pressure, just kind of putting walls onto the gate wherever he can, just to kind of stall it out.
If we're able to turn this into at least a draw, I'm going to be so impressed. But with this pressure, I feel like it could happen. They haven't really been able to touch either gate just yet, just working on dismantling those consoles. It doesn't even matter at this point that there is no detention. I feel like detention would be almost out by now.
And it looks like the lucky guy is going to be healing up with a bot, and he's going to teleport onto them. They are kind of all trapped here, but honestly, the lack of a switch trade here means there was no blink for first chase, which is really tragic for someone like a Mad Eyes. The survivors did a great job of kind of drawing out that first chase to prevent a snowball. We are going to see the lucky guy get a stun with the flashlight. Just coming in to kind of get that Mad Eyes off of his console with the power of the silent.
Oh, but beautiful work with that heavy hit. It does look like we are working on opening that other gate, though. Are we going to be able to get it open in time is the real question. Yeah, it does look like Embalmer is going to be able to open that exit gate over by the shack. Prisoner and Forward are also there. This can be a 3-man escape here for OPS.
Potentially a 4-man, considering Dungeon is on the graveyard side of the map.
Yup, and it does look like, are we going to be able to embalm the lucky guy? Just not in time. Lucky guy is going to be chaired here. Are they going to take the 3-man? They could definitely push this for the 4-man escape, but it does look like they are going to keep themselves safe, take the 3-man escape. And what a performance for a round 1 here from OPS.
Yeah, honestly, just a great job from the survivors. They did a fantastic job of drawing out that first chase.
Yeah, that first chase there from the prisoner was absolutely incredible. Just keeping the Mad Eyes in that area, not allowing any leeway really with just the containment there, and just being so bold as well. There were a lot of moments where it's like, oh, well, you're running directly into the hunter, but with the Mad Eyes, you can do that. You can play very close, banking on that 1-second stun, not even having flywheel. Prisoner was carrying borrowed time and broken windows, but that first kite there really just made all a world of difference there for OPS. But very well played there. Always fun to see a Mad Eyes in play as well, so thank you for Uvia. To Uvia for that, I guess, privilege. But yeah, with that, we are going to be heading into the second half of round 1, and we will be seeing Uvia's Survivors versus OPS Hunter. So I'm definitely excited to see what we bring to the table here.
Yeah, we are going to go ahead and move into the second half. Honestly, really excited. This is a great lead for OBS. Or yes, OBS is 3-1.
Yeah, never a bad thing to start that round 1 at an advantage here.
Absolutely. It does kind of set the pace for the rest of the matchup. Honestly, though, just great gameplay on every side.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see the approach that Uvia is going to take here from their survivor side, because they can definitely push back with an aggressive team comp, possibly, locking in we haven't gotten the ban picks just yet, but depending on those first 2 bans from OPS Hunter, I do wonder if we're going to, maybe see the same thing with that Priestess and Seer being banned, because I would say if not, Uvia definitely has the opportunity here to be very aggressive with their survivor picks, and just kind of take advantage. maybe, even if it will be locked out later, taking advantage of it now, trying to even the table in this first round could definitely benefit them. Or they could play the long game and, wait until future rounds to kind of build back that lead. But it's never over until we've hit the last round. So, yeah, we're only in round one, second half. Haven't even gotten into the second half yet. So it is definitely far from over here, and a lot of ground to cover to determine the match.
We are going to see Seer and Priestess ban kind of mirroring the last match, knocking out those survivors that can be really aggravating to deal with on a map like the Red Church.
Mm-hmm.
Overall,
and it really does.
Go ahead.
Oh, it really does just give no indication of who that hunter is going to be, because yeah, of course we're banning Seer and Priestess.
I mean, everybody bans Seer Priestess. I ban Seer Priestess, and I'm just a little guy.
I ban Cheerleader Priestess. We're in that time now.
We could potentially see a Cheerleader pick in the later rounds, or potentially as a round one throwaway.
Is Cheerleader allowed?
I believe so. I'll be completely honest, I'm not super sure. It'd be fun to see Cheerleader, though.
Okay, everyone except for Fool's Gold is allowed, so we're working on the same rules as, average tournament. So yeah, no Fool's Gold, unfortunate to those of you who possibly like Fool's Gold. But Cheerleader, Aeroplanist, Opera Singer, all of those are permitted here. So we could definitely see some Cheerleader action.
An Aeroplanist would also be fun to see. I wouldn't really put him on a small map like this, but
he's honestly fun on Red Church.
He's a good character to pick if you want to kind of throw someone away for the global ban, because he's got a lot of self-kiting ability, which is really fun to see. And we have kind of seen him in IJL as well as some other tournaments. He's been popping up here and there. People are realizing the power of Charles Holt.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it makes sense because he's basically patient. That's slightly more difficult to control, but has a lot more versatility with you don't need another wall in the area to levitate, I guess. But there's you can gain a lot of distance. I do want to see more of that Aeroplanist Cheerleader synergy, because there's a lot of potential with that duo, with the canceling cooldowns, because that really is kind of the biggest drawback of the Aeroplanist, that it takes so long for the jetpack to regenerate. But we are going to get our first two survivor picks in here for LLU. We're going to see a journalist and an acrobat. Definitely very excited to see that journalist coming out. I think we have actually seen a journalist from this team before. So not an entirely surprising pick, but definitely can be very effective, especially on a map like Red Church. We've been talking so much about the pallets, about the walls, about hiding literally behind the pallets. You cannot see that baby if it's behind a wall. So a lot of potential for that journalist to really shine here.
Yeah, absolutely. Just we are going to go ahead and see an embalmer ban, which is definitely an interesting choice to see. Maybe just trying to prevent ties as much as possible, forcing the survivors to potentially play a more risky strategy.
Yeah, I would definitely expect for that embalmer ban to be not wanting to see that tie happen, not wanting to have kind of that sort of guarantee. I guess it's not really a guarantee, but it is a little bit more insurance, especially when you do want to get as many survivors out the gate as possible. We are looking at UVA is looking for at least a 3-man escape here, coming in at the end of round one, just to tie things up, possibly look at going out with a 4-man escape, and clutching the lead for the first round. I would say definitely looking a little bit more for a 3-man than a 4-man. 3-man is a little bit bold. 4-man is a little bit bold, but yeah, when you're in the interest of not allowing survivors out the gate, banning Embalmer is definitely something you can do. But we are going to lock in a Prospector, it looks like, and our final ban is going to be a Lawyer. The ban picks here are definitely interesting, not as worried about the harassers, which definitely makes sense, looking at a Mad Eyes. We did see for a brief moment there how vulnerable Mad Eyes can be to stunners. So a lot less stunner bans here, banning that Embalmer, banning the Lawyer as well. I do wonder if we're going to see that Opera Singer that we've been kind of rumoring about. And this wouldn't be the worst comp to play Opera Singer against Journalist. Could be a little bit annoying. Acrobat is always annoying, especially on Red Church, but Prospector, not the biggest deal in the world if we're looking at an Opera Singer. There's not really any particular countering there. With that Lawyer ban, I do feel like we could be seeing the Opera Singer. He is kind of one of the only survivors other than Cheerleader who can really stand up to the Opera Singer's speed. So yeah, just waiting on that last survivor pick. I definitely wouldn't be surprised seeing, maybe a Gardener in here. Possibly, maybe something else, but
maybe even something like a Magician can be used against the Sangria. If he places his engine directly into the shadow, it kind of forces her out of that speed boost and allows everybody to just buy a little bit more time.
Yep. And we are going to lock in the Entomologist here, so I do wonder if LLU knows something that we don't know about this Hunter, because I feel like Prospector and Entomologist, we might be preparing for a Disciple, possibly a Hermit, because those aren't picks that you see necessarily when looking at an Opera Singer. But then again, it's not like they particularly counter-comped anything else. So I am definitely very interested to see who OPS Hunter decides to play here.
Yeah, honestly, really exciting to see. We are going to go ahead and see the teams start to lock their builds. Maybe we could potentially see something like a Naiad, just to kind of, if they want a kind of consistent tie to keep their, if they want to keep their lead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're just waiting on those Persona webs to finish locking in. We're going to be looking at Flywheel and Borrowed Time on the Prospector, Borrowed Time and Tide Turner on the Journalist. And just waiting on Persona webs for the Acrobat and the Entomologist. Okay, we're going to get Borrowed Time and Broken Windows on the Acrobat, and Flywheel and Broken Windows on... Okay, Entomologist. It said Gardener for a second. I guess I was sending psychic beams to LLU chat. But yeah, we are going to be seeing a no Borrowed Time Entomologist, which is definitely something that you can afford to do here. Especially on Red Church, Entomologist can be very, very strong on Church. So excited to see. Very excited to see how Yuvia kind of answers that last match.
Yeah, honestly, just really excited to see the teams go ahead and get into it. And we are going to see OPS lock their Hunter. We're going to see a Gamekeeper. We are going to see Bane, which is an interesting choice, especially with the Entomologist here. She can potentially counter out that hook, depending on the placement of those bees.
Yeah, Entomologist and Prospector here. I'm a little bit worried about that Gamekeeper pick. That's not... Journalist as well, Acrobat. I don't know. I feel like... it's a very strong comp against a Gamekeeper. Journalist can use the babies to kind of block the hook. Acrobat Prospector, any survivors that can really manipulate that close range can be very strong against the Gamekeeper, because most of these survivors really, they have some kind of way to get out of the area other than Flywheel, which we are also seeing Flywheel in play here against that Gamekeeper hook. So just being able to avoid the hook here, and especially in utilizing the walls as well, can be very, very strong against the Gamekeeper. So yeah, I feel like things might be able to turn in LLU's favor for this match, at least tying things up. But they do have a lot of ground to cover. They do need a 3-man elimination to tie the round. So we will see, but we are going to get into the spawn picks here. Entomologist is going to spawn in the center at the church. We're going to see Acrobat possibly taking this first chase here in the walls. Prospector spawning on the opposite side of the church, and Journalist over at the shack. So, and Gamekeeper obviously going to spawn at the top of the broken walls. And we're going into second half of round 1. I am once again Bones, this is Ray, and good luck to both teams. We're looking at a 3-man escape for the survivors as the condition to tie the round. Otherwise, OPS is going to take round 1 in their favor.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started. We may potentially end up seeing that Entomologist end up playing more as a support role rather than a kiter role, with the spawn in the middle. She's able to kind of put her bees anywhere on the map, but we are going to go ahead and spawn everybody into the game. And it looks like the Bane is immediately just going to go ahead and lock up this area by placing quite a few
double
traps
at the pallet. That is, I'm really, a lot of the time with Gamekeepers, you place the trap, you play the rest of the game, and immediately, that you forget about the trap. Survivor goes into the trap late game, but already getting tripped up by those bees. Looks like we're just going to continue to use the hook, going after that Journalist here. Not the worst option here, forcing the Journalist to at the very least waste her resources. But are we going to switch targets here? It looks like we have caught the trail of the Prospector already. That first magnet is going to come into play, and we have our first chase.
Yeah, honestly, just a really strong start, getting a pretty early hit on the Prospector, but we are going to see that this Gamekeeper does not have Blink. He is running Teleport first. Oh, a little bit of an unfortunate stun, but a very good Flywheel. Not able to kind of draw up the kite just a little bit longer, but it is unfortunate the Cypher progress is not as healthy as we would like to see, especially since the Prospector is being chaired on the Journalist Cypher.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate there, but also very convenient. It does mean that the other 2 survivors are pretty much free to decode here. Journalist already going in for this rescue. It is... Oh, and hitting the baby instead. We're going to see Journalist going in for this rescue, able to dodge that hook. And it looks like we do actually have the rescue baby in play. So yeah, Prospector is going to be rescued there. Journalist is going to take a hit, though, which is a little bit unfortunate that the Orphan was not able to block that. And oh, a stun out of attack recovery.
Ooh, that is just a little it's an unfortunate misplay on the Prospectors, and as such, he was able to get another hit, just kind of putting him at full presence. But he did miss that hook over to the Prospector, putting it on a 10-second cooldown.
Yeah, not the end of the world. It does look like that is going to be more than up by the time Prospector is chaired. And, with no energy gauge to worry about, that's not the end of the world. But we do have 3 ciphers remaining. Survivors have been able to reset. Looks like we are going to start placing traps over by the gate. So just preparing for endgame, using those traps when there's really, not much else you can do with them is a very smart strategy here. It's not visible on the stream, but there is a radius where Gamekeeper can't place traps. So just taking advantage of being in the area, oh, I'm by the gate, may as well place these. But we're going to see a teleport here. Gamekeeper confident. Oh, a missed bomb there. Acrobat going to take a hit over that pallet. That is just so unfortunate there. I think he rolled into the wall.
Yeah, it looks like he wasn't quite able to go ahead and make it off of the... but he's going to go ahead and miss that hook. Oh, but will get the down with the chip on honestly very good hook from the gamekeeper. We are going to see the entomologist bees behind the chair. I wonder if the gamekeeper chose maybe it's not worth spotting out.
Oh, entomologist switched to the bees instead of summoning them, I think. That is a very unfortunate misstep there, and we are going to delete the bees. Entomologist is going to go down, but it does look like that leaves Acrobat uncamped. Journalist is going to be able to get that rescue here, but this is not looking good for LLU survivors. Already an elimination here, 3 ciphers remaining, and we do have progress on all of the remaining ciphers, but it's not like we have a significant amount here. It does look like Gamekeeper spotted the journalist playing with the baby. Unfortunately, it's just not going to go through. We still have 3 of the pallet orphans left to utilize. It does look like we're going to use our first one now, but it's going to go to a different one. It looks like we're trying to aim for that pallet. There's a lot of things going on right now.
Oh, but the Ento will just go ahead and get hooked and downed due to the lack of tide turner available on the map. Honestly, though, just really strong job from this Bane. The entomologist is going to go ahead and get chaired, seeing her second chair for the match.
Yeah, nice hook there, just catching up to the end of that journalist's blood trail. And yeah, this is very much looking like oh, wow!
Oh, that is an unfortunate choice, but it does look like the Acrobat is going to go ahead and make it for a last-minute rescue, kind of forcing the... I thought he was maybe going to wait it out, try to get dungeon, which is by graveyard.
Yeah, we're just leaving... it does look like... leaving those ciphers, yeah, pushing for that solo escape, it's better than a 4-man elimination here, but it does look like Bane is going to catch up, taking those bees out of commission once again. It does look like Entomologist has a little bit of those bees, but beautiful hook there right through that pallet. Entomologist is going to go down. Teleport not up yet, it has just been used, so it does look like Acrobat will be able to make it to that chair in time, using that bomb just to ensure it as well. But
yeah, we did see that Ento, she got stuck in the chairs that the Bane had the traps that the Bane had set up at the beginning of the match.
Yep, that's exactly what I was talking about too. You place the trap and you hope it pays off later, and it has in fact paid off. So very nicely done there. Acrobat is going to take this kite. At this point, it really is just a matter of who runs out of resources first, and right now that is looking like the survivors. And oh, just missing that hook there right at the exit. Acrobat buying a little bit more time. And it looks like Journalist is going to go chest digging, but she can't actually pick up an item yet, so... a little bit of future thinking, but sending that hook into cooldown once again. And yeah, at this point, it's really just a waiting game.
Yeah, absolutely. Is an Acrobat able to bomb over a trap, or is the trap hit
I think we might find out. I do think that you... actually, I have no idea. Because you can flywheel through them, but I don't know. I think you can... well, maybe we'll find out. Either way, looks like we have found the journalist here. And oh, there we go. The baby trick finally working out. And we're going to use teleport to catch up to the journalist here. But it does look like... are we going to see that baby come into play at the pallet or no? Yes, the baby has stationed itself at the pallet. It does look like journalist is outfitted with the red ink accessory. So we're seeing a lot of hearts set towards our gamekeeper. And oh, just getting hooked right through that pallet. Acrobat is going to be the, well, sole survivor left alive. Are we going to chair here?
Considering that the journalist is right on top of dungeon, it does mean that if he chairs right there, he's unable to put the traps down due to the chair radius. But it looks like he's just going to go ahead and get that hit. Ooh. Oh, what a very good bomb! Going to head
nicely done.
Very well timed. Great job from the Acrobat.
Yeah, that is kind of what I was talking about at the wait, did he actually bomb up with that? Yeah, okay, that's our question answered. We are able to
oh no,
we're able to bomb over the traps, but unfortunately running right into it anyway. A journalist is going to be able to struggle free, but I think we can call the forest for the trees here and say that this is a very nicely done 4-man elimination here from OPS's Hunter, but not for lack of just sticking it out here from LLU survivors. Very nicely done. Just keeping up their containment. Unfortunately, obviously didn't quite pan out in the way that they may have hoped. But still nicely done. We are going to see that surrender come through, and that is going to be a 4-man elimination here for OPS. That is going to be a 2-point lead. Or no, I got my teams mixed up. That's going to be a... Oh, God. Yeah, if you've seen me commentate before, you know I'm really bad at math when I haven't written things down, and I have not, in fact, written things down, so we can all just throw tomatoes at me while I find a piece of paper.
OPS is in the lead over LLU.
Yes, I think I got the number wrong. They are in the lead, though.
I think we are... If it was 3-1 plus 5...
7-point lead.
Yeah, 7 points.
7-point lead. I know how to do math and I'm very good at it. But just taking a look at this containment here, we are going to see that journalist coming out here with 175 seconds of containment. Just a little bit unfortunate that she wasn't able to last the extra 5 seconds for that containment master achievement. But yeah, we have Acrobat with that 209% decoding, 3 rescues, really just bringing it out here for this match. And just very nicely done. But that is, again, going to be that OPS has that 7-point lead here coming into the second round. So very, very strong start. But again, it's never over until it's over. I have seen teams make it back from being at this kind of a deficit before, and I would not put it past them to make it happen again. So yeah, coming into the second round, Uvia does have the advantage of being able to ban a map here. So I would definitely say well, I feel like maybe it would be a little bit more advantageous for them to have the map pick at this point, but having that map ban does mean that we can get rid of something like Sacred Heart, which definitely, you know, no one in their right mind wants to be on when they are already at a disadvantage. But we could also ban something that is a little bit more specific to possibly a Hunter trying to counter OPS's Hunter as well. In that case, maybe not banning Sacred Heart, playing a little bit of mind games, but we'll definitely see what map they decide to pick, because map bans, map picks can be very, very strong choices when it comes to these tournaments. I feel like it's a little bit of an underrated aspect of the game, but I enjoy maps. I enjoy adjustments based on maps. I enjoy map bans. I enjoy map picks. And it's always fun to see kind of how strategies can change and alter based on the map. So
yeah, honestly, I feel like it's going to be really interesting to see. There are still a lot of really good maps on this Hunter. I'd like to see maybe potentially something like a Chinatown. I really enjoy seeing Chinatown. The environment is done really well, and there are a lot of really cool kiting areas that you can use. I'm trying to think. I think it'd be fun to see Moonlit, though Moonlit is a bit infamous for just kind of being not a great map to play on. It does have a lot of interesting environments that you can use, like the carousel, the slides, and of course that coaster.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun to have on Moonlit, but it is, you know, it's a map, that's for sure.
Especially, I don't think they're going to try to counter comp or counter map pick a Sangria, which you do see when teams pick Moonlit. They just kind of want to force that Sangria to overextend herself, especially now in the current meta with the way that Sangria now plays. It's a little bit less common to see a pick like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like especially coming out of a round 1 with a gamekeeper, you could really have anything coming into round 2. They do have, you know, the advantage of being able to ban a Hunter, but again, you know, are they going to ban a gamekeeper? They might have to, though, because they have... Oh, no, well, wait, no, it's not map picks, it's map bans. I'm going to erase everything that I've just said. We are going to ban Arms Factory, which makes sense. With, you know, kind of the threat of that Gamekeeper, you do not want to see a Gamekeeper on Arms Factory, which is a good Gamekeeper map. There's a lot of... It's similar to Red Church, you know, with kind of the areas to get trapped in against a Gamekeeper, so not wanting to see that again. I feel like maybe they wouldn't want to ban the Gamekeeper, right?
We could potentially see a Gamekeeper ban, or maybe something else. Maybe they want to be a little play it safe and ban a stronger hunter, potentially a Dream Witch. We are going to go ahead and see that LLU has gone ahead and swapped out their hunter. We are going to see Wendy play in instead of Burb. So maybe we could see something completely different. We might even see something like a Bloody Queen, depending on the map.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what map OPS picks here. They could pick, you know, something aggressive like Sacred Heart Hospital. I feel like maybe that's more of a round 3 pick. But yeah, Sacred Heart, maybe even something like Lakeside if they want to bring out, you know, a hunter
and we are
functions better, like a Geisha or something. Maybe a Clerk. But
maybe I think it would be fun to see something like a Clerk, or even, like I said, the Naiad. I'm personally a huge fan of Naiad gameplay. I think it's always fun to watch, so maybe we'll get something fun like that.
I would like to see a Lizard. For those of you who have not heard me before, I am a dedicated Lizard fan. I have an intermittent A badge. I would not recommend anyone to play Lizard because it is a miserable experience, and I only do it because I've been doing it for the past 4 years. But if there is a Lizard main in the mix, in the soup of this tournament, I would be happy.
Honestly, yeah, with the recent Lizard buff, he is definitely something that is
very fun. Very fun.
Yeah, honestly, I'm just excited to see once we get our faction order. But LLU is definitely something, is definitely a team that can't just be discredited just yet. They've got some really good coordination, and honestly, they're just really fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see, you know, picks like the Journalist. We've seen, you know, almost no journalists. We've seen a couple, I think. But, you know, I'm a big advocate for kind of off-meta, I guess less than meta picks. She's not really off-meta. I mean, I guess she kind of, whatever. I mean, obviously I'm an advocate for off-meta picks. I was just talking about Lucino, but, no, I love seeing survivors and hunters that we, you know, don't see as often. But it does look like we are going to be playing on Leo's Memory, which is a map that I genuinely enjoy. And I know that that is a controversial subject, but it is an interesting pick here. I wonder if we could see a Lizard. Lizard is not, well, no, Lizard is good on Leo's Memory, and it's not just me, because the entirety of the factory and the stairs are not fun to go against if you have a Lizard who knows what they're doing. But it looks like we are going to get the factions in just a moment here. Rumor has it that OPS will be hunting first, but I am going to wait for a final confirmation on that. Okay, yes, OPS is going to be hunting first. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what OPS Hunter decides to bring here. Gamekeeper, probably not. It's not a great map for him. He can definitely be played on Leo's Memory, but it wouldn't be, you know, we could see possibly the Opera Singer coming out, possibly...
Yeah,
well, I'm not going to put money on a Lizard. I can never put money on a Lizard because no one in their right mind would play him. but maybe a Hermit. We'll see.
I think it'd be interesting to maybe see a Sangria or a Hermit, depending on just kind of what kind of route they want to play. We are going to go ahead and start moving to the Survivor ban pick. We do see that Journalist and Acrobat are global banned, so they are off the roster for the rest of the matchup.
Yep, so no Journalist, no Acrobat. No Acrobat's a little bit unfortunate here, but in a meta where we have the Patient, and we have the Aeroplanist as well, there are a lot of survivors who can kind of play the role of the Acrobat now. So having him be the first pick first round is not the end of the world. There's a lot of other survivors who can fill that role. Yeah, I guess we do need a Lucino counter. I'm sorry. I was being so good about it too. I haven't mentioned him in quite some time, but I actually have a reason to now that he's buffed and is like not slightly less. Well, no, he's still bad, but he's slightly less bad, I guess.
We could
if they just got rid of the energy bar.
We could potentially see a Clown, but we are going to go ahead and see a Seer Priestess ban. Again, not really giving us a clue on who will be picked, because again, these bans are just so universal. You want to lock out that Priestess, especially on such a wide map.
Yeah, I would definitely not be surprised here if the Opera Singer is possibly banned. Over the Gamekeeper, I feel, yeah, I don't think they would ban Gamekeeper coming into this, but we will see. And I'm definitely interested to see who these first two Survivor picks are, because as you were saying, Seer Priestess really just does not
we are going to go ahead.
Anything.
Yeah, we are going to go ahead and see that Opera ban. Just kind of, trying to lock her out on a map that she's pretty strong on, but maybe a Clown. He does kind of struggle in the factory area, but with the recent controller optimization on mobile, honestly, a bit of a beast to go against.
Did they do that?
Yeah, they went and they buffed all of the hunter abilities. They buffed the sensitivity or something.
Okay, I thought that. I thought things felt different. Because I was like, oh, I can suddenly aim with Hermit. And that wasn't going very well before. So that's good to know. I didn't know that they did that. But yeah, I feel like, yeah, maybe a Clown, maybe I would be excited to see a Clown, but I feel like he could definitely struggle on this map. There's a lot of kind of areas to get stuck on that are weird. That Clown can kind of trip over. So yeah, Hunter pick up in the air here. But are we going to get our Survivor picks soon? I hope so. I would be excited to see something weird coming out here, like Aeroplanist first. Embalmer first would also be good for them, especially since they need all of the escapes they can get. Getting the Embalmer out here, especially since OPS banned Embalmer last round, I feel like locking out the Embalmer first here, just trying to get as much of a lead as possible, could be something that LLU could kind of take the I guess initiative on.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see an Embalmer again. This is a good Aeroplanist map. But we are going to go ahead and see the Embalmer pick, as you predicted, but also a Mercenary. Mercenary choosing to global lock. They could potentially be trying to scrounge up as many points as they can in order to get a round 3. But maybe... I personally would not have thrown away the Mercenary for a global lock. I would have picked a different hunter, a different rescue.
At this point, rescuers are kind of the hunter. I feel like with Mercenary specifically, we could definitely make a hunter argument, but I feel like Yuvia is probably locking out the Merc here, just because you still have the first officer on the table, so it's not the end of the world if you end up without, Merkless heading into round 3, especially since the nerf. I feel like the nerf really put a wrench in things. But yeah, yep, exactly. Still have First Officer, still have Gravekeeper. Gravekeeper I would be a little bit worried about seeing just because, there's not a lot that Gravekeeper can really do, especially, with the First Officer still on the table. But it does...
Go ahead. I was gonna comment on the lawyer ban.
Yes. I was
just
not paying attention, my bad.
They do not want to kind of let that lawyer out, especially on a map like this where it's pretty easy to hide, lots of little dark crevices to get lost in. And we are going to see an Antiquarian pick as well. Anti is a really strong survivor. Honestly, Antiquarian is the hunter in this game with her ability to kind of chase down and disarm the hunter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a very aggressive pick here, and especially, I was talking about all the things that hunters can get stuck on Leo's memory. It's exactly the same with the amount of things that Antiquarian can kind of knock the hunter into. So very excited to see the Antiquarian kind of come out here. We've been seeing her banned a lot in pretty much every other tournament. So I'm excited to see her kind of get her spotlight here. As well as, thinking about Leo's memory, thinking about kind of the areas that you can kite in on the map, there's a lot of kind of work that the Antiquarian can do in the factory specifically. With these character locks so far, I feel like Embalmer would probably be more likely to get the factory spawn, but if Antiquarian is able to take the chase in there, it would... be pretty detrimental to the hunter. I agree we should play Leo Beck the Hell Ember. I would like to see a Hell Ember.
We did actually see a Hell Ember in LLU's last matchup. It was really amazing to see lots of really cool gameplay, some cool tricks that we got to see. It was really entertaining.
Yeah, it's always fun to see a good Leo. I'm not a good Leo. I'm comically bad.
Hellenberg is the new S tier hunter. Haven't you heard?
Honestly, they should buff Hellember to S tier.
Hellenberg now has the abilities of Sangria and Geisha and Bloody Queen and Hellenberg.
No way.
Trust. My
Are we looking at it?
Nettie.
I have bad news for everyone in the chat right now talking about Aeroplanist. That is going to be our next ban from OPS. Presented with a beautiful little PNG instead of saying Aeroplanist, which I am a really big fan of, actually. But yeah, we are going to be banning the Aeroplanist. I'm very sorry, everyone. But it's okay, he's not permanently banned just yet, so we could see him in the next match. We could see him in a potential round 3 if we're able to go that far. But yeah, Aeroplanist unfortunately is going to be banned. But well, they won't ban Lucky Guy. Actually, can you even ban Lucky Guy? I don't even think
in this tournament, yeah, they just can't.
Oh yeah, tournament you can. I was thinking about rank, but yeah. But in that case, though, I am excited to see who that 4th survivor is going to be for LLU. They could lock in possibly a decoder here. We do have a pretty tanky looking team with that mercenary, with the Antiquarian, but I feel like a decoder might just be too easy of a target.
We are going to see the Explorer.
Oh, well, okay, that argument goes out the window.
Manifesting things.
As long as the Explorer is not immediately found, I'm vividly seeing right now matches that I've seen on Leo's memory before where the Explorer just gets immediately walked into before he's able to kind of shrink and hide. So praying that does not happen. But yeah, Explorer is one of the most annoying characters to go against because after a certain point, when it's just the Explorer left, it's okay, what do we do now? Peepers don't work. My eyes are bad. Leo's memory is basically just like one big hiding spot. So yeah, very, very, very good for the Explorer here. There's a lot of stealth that can be used, and especially with the Opera Singer being off the table, he's relatively safe for now.
Honestly, as if they could potentially choose to spawn the Explorer in the factory area or in middle, kind of giving him the ability to easily transition to other areas would be really fun. But we are going to go ahead and look into the builds. You're going to see Broken and Flywheel on the Embalmer, maybe potentially wanting him to pick up first chase.
Yeah, I'm definitely not surprised about that Broken Flywheel Embalmer. We are kind of in that day and age of no borrowed time, especially when it comes to an Embalmer, having that coffin as insurance. But it looks like we are going to see a Wuchang coming from OPS. Very excited to see it. It's been so long, actually, since I've seen a Wuchang pick. So that is... It's a surprise, but I'm intrigued because, you know, I did kind of doubt the Gamekeeper pick last time, but obviously was proven wrong. So I feel like we've got big things in store.
Yeah, just really excited to see everybody go ahead and giving it their all. Yeah, Wuchang is going to be a lot of fun. He's got a lot of really cool umbrella spots on this map, and he's able to kind of soul siphon around the obstacles pretty easily. We could potentially see an insolence build on him.
Yeah, I would definitely expect insolence. No presence Wuchang is basically just a death sentence. Especially, I feel like letting the Mercenary was first pick, but I feel like maybe allowing the Priestess out here wouldn't have been the worst option, and banning the Mercenary instead, because with that, you know, having a single hit Hunter, it's post nerf, it's a lot easier to stuff a Mercenary, or at least, you know, get significant damage in on a Mercenary when he comes in for rescue. But yeah, it's a little bit risky here. Mercenary taking the factory spawn here was not something I expected. We're going to see Antiquarian spawning in the kind of center of near the Christmas tree. We're going to see Embalmer spawning dead center, definitely going to rotate into that factory, and Explorers spawning up in the shack. So well out of the way, definitely going to be able to hide in time.
Yeah, personally, I would not want to chase that Antiquarian first as such a presence reliance hunter like Wuchang. It's definitely going to be an interesting choice. Maybe looks like we are going to be umbrelling onto the Mercenary. Looks like that's going to be the first chase of the game.
Yeah, I feel like trying to sniff out the Mercenary here, it does not look like we're carrying Insolence, though. So we are going to need to get those two basic hits in here. It looks like we might be trying to sniff out the Embalmer, or possibly wait until the survivors have started decoding. But Embalmer does already have that coffin down within the factory. Oh, and a little bit of a missed umbrella there, kind of trying to predict the Embalmer heading into the factory right away. Unfortunately, just going to come up a little bit short, but a lot of time spent here. Explorer has already gotten those pages, or is well at work getting those pages, and Aquarian already about halfway through her cipher, and we haven't yet gotten our first hit. So a lot of rotation here, very nicely done here from LLU.
We are going to go ahead and see that the Wuchang is bringing peepers, but is going to... Oh, the Embalmer will not be going through that pallet, just faking out the umbrella, forcing them to put it on cooldown. I'm surprised another peeper has not been... There we go. And it looks like the team is doing a really good job of communicating. The Hunters change targets. We are going to see that everybody has kind of moved off of their ciphers. But the Wuchang has gone ahead and found out the Explorer, which may have been his ideal chase target.
Yeah, I think when the Explorer had just finished getting his password pages, and that does alert the Hunter to the Explorer's location. So I think that's definitely what the Wuchang was kind of seeking out here. But we are going to see the Explorer take a heavy hit there, kind of backed into the corner. This is not a great area. Explorer trying to transition out, but is just going to get hit right away. Beautiful work there from Wuchang. We do have one cipher decoded. Explorer is going to drop those password pages, though, when he's chaired. So I would say it's possible that Mercenary or Antiquarian is going to be able to pick those up. And those can definitely still be used. But Antiquarian is in the area. I wouldn't expect her to come in for the... Well, okay, no, she can definitely come in for first rescue, and then Mercenary come in for the second. Is not the worst situation to be put in. But yeah, we are just going to force that rescue out before half. And Antiquarian does still have her full stick, but it doesn't look like that's going to come into play here. Looking for that pallet hit, unfortunately just not going to go through, and we're not at full presence yet, so Explorer is just going to be able to vault that unimpeded. But a little bit of playing around the window here. Explorer just going to continue. This containment ciphers are looking not too bad here, and that lack of blink is really, really showing this match here. Just a lot of hits just coming up a little bit short, but are we going to be able to get someone? Yes, right around the corner there, just really taking advantage of that white guard hitbox, and Explorer is going to be on that second chair, but we're already nearly at one cipher remaining. Beautiful cipher rush here from LLU.
Yeah, we are looking at potentially a draw situation from the team. It does look like the Wuchang did just want to go ahead and kind of pressure the ante off of the cipher, even if just for a moment, and we see the Merc in the area kind of giving tinnitus. Interesting choice to camp in. Oh, and the Mercenary is elbow padding in. It's interesting, a choice to...
Oh, we are going to get the chair hit in there, but are we going to get the rescue? Okay, yeah, we are going to get the rescue off in time. Wuchang just really playing around there a little bit too much, I would say, and getting that chair hit. We are going to get the hit in on the Mercenary, but knocked out of that umbrella. Just a little bit unfortunate there. Antiquarian is going to go down, but we are at one cipher remaining, and Balmer hard at work, but it looks like Wuchang knows. LLU is going to communicate that the Hunter is changing targets, though, and a little bit of an overshoot on that umbrella. Wuchang is just going to be stuck on this side of the map. I don't think he's caught sight of the Embalmer. That blood trail is not visible. No, it's not. Wuchang has no idea where that Embalmer is. And they are going to be able to heal up the Antiquarian. That is a crucial misstep there for the Wuchang.
Honestly, an interesting choice the Wuchang had was to camp in White Guard form, because White Guard's hitbox is a lot narrower and longer as well. It makes it a lot easier to get a chair hit. Oh, beautiful umbrella, going ahead and going to... Oh, barely missing the soul siphon, actually.
Yeah,
I thought the siphon had gone through.
No, I also thought that was very, very close, right on the edge, I think, of the visual effects, but not on the, like... actual radius of it. But heading back to the cipher, just placing another peeper there. It looks like Antiquarian has not really started. I think that cipher already had progress on it, but working on another cipher. They've done a really good job at distributing their ciphers as well. The three remaining ciphers are, well, there's that one all the way over in the corner that the Antiquarian is working on. But on a map this big, it's much more difficult for the Wuchang to really pressure all of them at once. And we are going to be able to find the Antiquarian here. Nice job on that bell, just stopping her in her tracks without that pallet to work with. And it does look like, yeah, she did use the stick to get over that window. So very nicely done with the Antiquarian. Explorer has gotten 50% password pages. Are we going to be heading back to that cipher we were priming before?
A little unfortunate for the Antiquarian to throw the cipher, throw the pallet down. It looks like on the wrong side and unable to flip over, as she had already used the flip. But the Mercenary is already in the area as they transition over to the last cipher, which is already at sizable progress.
Yup, it looks like we are just waiting. Oh, we're going to pop the cipher a little early?
That was definitely an interesting choice, but the Antiquarian did go ahead and flywheel out. Oh, but missed her jump.
Oh my god.
The Wuchang's hitbox did go ahead and kind of... Oh, absolutely amazing job from this Antiquarian, but is going to miss that second stun. Oh, and that third one as well.
Oh my god, what an end game here, just popping that Cypher right away. I think it took everyone off guard, including me. But also the Wuchang here, we do only have peepers. I need to see this Persona web, like what is happening? But yeah, that we are going to leave the Antiquarian on the ground again, but Antiquarian does still have self-heal. That gate is open. Explorer and Embalmer are going to head out. Mercenary staying in the gate just to act as bait here, waiting for the Antiquarian to heal up. Dungeon is in the area as well. I'm not sure if Antiquarian, I think Antiquarian knows it. She was decoding over there earlier, but she has no items left. It looks like they are going to take the 3-man escape here, guaranteed, but Antiquarian still going to be able to vault that, and oh, it actually canceled out the bell and missing the second bell as well. Unfortunately, just going to get right in the way of that umbrella, and that is a 3-man escape here for LLU survivors. What a match.
Yeah, honestly, a really interesting choice there in the end game. We are going to go ahead and see that the Antiquarian did end up being the one with the most contained time, 94 seconds, but everybody seemed to have done a pretty good job at just kind of forcing this Wuchang to overextend a little bit, and that first kite kind of forbidding him that first presence on was a really great job from the LLU survivors.
Yeah, just what a great match there. Really just kind of taking advantage of the Wuchang pick. I feel like Insolence really... I feel like was it just detention only build?
I don't know.
We weren't able to see the Hunter persona, but I do think that was a detention only build because there was no confined space, there was no trait switch, there was no insolence, obviously. But yeah, just what a match there. It really and just way to turn it around as well, you know, after that 4-man elimination in the first round. Just really kind of, I feel like letting OPS letting their guard down a little bit, and LLU coming back with a vengeance, I would say, really just pushing that match as far as possible. And that pop, I swear. That was scary. That was scary, and I wasn't even playing.
I think what happened is potentially a bit of a miscommunication, since it looked like the Wuchang was charging up his umbrella. They may have been like, oh, he's changing targets, pop the Cypher quickly.
Right,
and
that's
he ended up canceling out the umbrella.
That's very true.
So that might have been what happened, but I guess we'll never know. We are going to see LLU Trixie go ahead and kind of hop into the Hunter spotlight. We might see someone on this map. We could potentially see a Feaster, would be fun, especially with the Koa season.
A little bit festive.
Yeah, a bit on brand.
Yeah, I would still I would still enjoy seeing that that lizard possibly, but we will see. Unfortunately, actually no, because I was told that LLU is apparently a team of Mad Eyes mains, so we could see a second Mad Eyes has hit the By Mellow server, but sorry. Yeah, no, I mean, I would... Mad Eyes is fun on Leo's memory. To play, not to go against. But, yeah, I feel like... Fun. Yeah, it would definitely be fun. But we'll see. We'll see. And it also does depend as well on what OPS decides to bring out as their survivor lineup, because I feel like they've got some tricks up their sleeve. And we'll see, but yeah, right now we are waiting for the OP. Yeah, it would be Uvia has to lock in their survivor bans, yeah. So we're just waiting on that. Global bans are Embalmer and Prisoner, so we won't be seeing that Embalmer, which is a little bit unfortunate here for OPS survivors. They're banning the Lizard?
They said we don't want to deal with that.
They said they don't like me. They don't like me in particular. But
no,
wow.
no like phones.
Banning the Lizard is that is not something that I would ever expect to see, and that is also very scary for me. But yeah,
they don't
I'm sad.
See you succeed.
They don't want to see me win.
It's okay. I want to see you win.
But hold on, I need to check something.
Overall, though, we could potentially again see. Oh, sorry, hiccups.
You're good.
We could potentially.
Sorry, I'm scrolling through the Evil Reptilian numbers because I'm like, I don't recognize this username, and I don't. So either there are secrets being kept from me that I don't know about, or they've just decided to ban Lizard for fun and giggles. Oh no, never mind. It's number 85.
They could.
So we do have a Lizard main in our midst.
Congratulations. But we could potentially see an aeroplanist pick, since he has not been banned yet. It would be really interesting to see his ability to kind of zoop away from hunter abilities. Could be fun to see.
Zoop.
Yeah, the zoop.
I guess, yeah.
Or maybe even a cheerleader. You know, she do the pee pee.
Oh. Looks like we're going to ban Priestess and Antiquarian.
So with the anti, we might be potentially seeing a one-hit hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe potentially they could want to get their revenge and play Gamekeeper. I do know that
mirror match Gamekeeper pick, that would be crazy. But he's also Gamekeeper's a little bit not as good on Leo's memory, so I would say we should if we're gonna bring out that reverse card Gamekeeper, waiting until later on.
Well, LLU Trixie, especially in the last matchup, did kind of go a little bit off meta, playing. I believe they played Hellember last matchup.
Ooh, I would definitely be excited to see a Hellember.
We could potentially see something like that as well. Honestly, just really entertaining. We are going to go ahead and move into OPS picking their two survivors, which of course shall be global banned. We are going to see a Gardener and a Lucky Guy pick, wanting to potentially counter comp that potential Sangria.
Yeah, I feel like banning the Lizard and leaving the Opera Singer on the table is kind of incredible. But I mean, I respect it, and I respect the fact that they're respecting the Lizard. I don't agree with it, and I'm sad about it because I would love to see a Lizard. But it is what it is. And when you know that the opposing hunter is going to be skilled with that character, you know, it does make sense to ban, especially Lizard is very good on Leo's memory. So, you know, in the interest of wanting to utilize that factory, I diss the Lizard because I play the Lizard. I have played Lizard for almost 4 years now, and it has not been very fun. I would not recommend playing Lizard to anyone with a normal mental state. But in the hands of someone who has psychological problems, Lizard can be very, very good and very, very scary to go against, especially on a map like Leo's Memory, where you do have the factory. You can just jump straight up the stairs, and especially with the recent buff, you know, max presence, you can just infinitely jump. And, you know, you can cross a map like Leo's Memory very, very quickly. I would like more people to learn Lizard so that we can actually start seeing him in tournaments.
Yeah, he's not even someone. He's not really a character that we see in global tournaments either. I think we've got Shota on Axis Wave.
Yeah, there were like 4 lizards on like Japan side of Koa last year. It was very weird.
Lizard meta, trust.
I'm banking on it. I'm banking on it for this year. We've gotten the area of effect, lethal crash buff, as well as the infinite jump. If they just got rid of the energy bar, Lizard would be S tier. Trust. Lizard would be S tier if they got rid of the energy bar. I miss Dongshin Lizard so much.
Dongshin, you will always be famous. We love you. We miss you. Come back to Do 5.
Please get off of ZQ. Thank you. But okay, it looks like we've got Gardener, Lucky Guy locked in, Patient ban, as well as the Toy Merchant ban. We're going to lock in the Lawyer, and we have one more Survivor coming up from OPS. But yeah, this is looking like a very classic opera singer counter comp. I would not be surprised if we see something like a coordinator coming in at the last second. Possibly a my god, first officer, if we're looking for that rescuer. But
maybe even he's a little weak at this point in the meta, but maybe even a Gravekeeper, Andrew Christ. We are gonna see an aeroplanist pick.
We're returning to PNG
with a blurry JPEG.
Yeah, I can't like put it on the screen, but I need everyone to know that OPS has exclusively communicated the aeroplanist with just a really bad image of him. And it's beautiful. But yeah, that is the answer to the aeroplanist ban of last match. We are going to give the people what they want, and have that aeroplanist coming in. And I'm definitely excited to see if we're working with that aeroplanist as a rescuer. Very excited.
I mean, yeah, he does have that rescue potential. He's also really great for kind of squeezing out endgame moments. We did see him in IJL, played by, I believe it was Mochi from Zeta, doing a fantastic dungeon clutch. It would be really fun to see something like that.
Yeah, we've been seeing, I feel like it was almost every match in IJL finals that the aeroplanist was picked or banned. Like, he's become a very, very common pick up at the top there. So yeah, I'm hoping that LLU kind of catches on. There's definitely a few very dedicated aeroplanist mains kind of since the start. I know that Pablo ZG from Ravens has been in the top of the aeroplanist pretty consistently, but I'm hoping that like this coming Koa we see more aeroplanists coming from NAEU.
But really excited to see how
I
teams choose to go on with this meta. I'm still my mind over the blurry JPEG.
Can we get it on the stream? Is there a way to just like put the image up here?
We are going to go ahead and move into the persona block.
That's okay. We love you anyway. We'll forgive you for the lack of Charles on the stream.
We are going to go ahead and see a Night Watch pick. As we move into this next round, Night Watch is definitely not as strong as he used to be. With that nerf to his dash kind of killing his a lot of his mobility, was really trying to kind of down into a solid tie hunter.
Yeah, I always get scared when Night Watch is picked. But hey, hello, Leo Beck Hellember. Thank you for showing us Leo Beck Hellember, and welcome to Invisible Man. I do appreciate the Invisible Man skin, both because allegedly the book is very funny as well as the movie, but also it's seasonal. He's in the snow. We're in the snow. We're on Leo's memory. We have to dress warm with a scarf and a hat.
Gotta be comfy cozy in this cold, unforgiving chill.
The unforgiving chill of a map that is too big for Nightwatch to cross it. But we will be seeing, it looks like that lawyer is going to spawn in the factory. We're going to see Aeroplanist spawning in the center, kind of as bait here, but definitely can take a lot of advantage of that factory. My worst fear for this Nightwatch right now is chasing the Aeroplanist up the stairs, hover, jetpack away. Nothing you can do about that. So Aeroplanist can definitely take a lot of advantage of that factory, but looks like we might be seeing the lawyer, we might be seeing that gardener take the first chase as well. But yeah, we are, LLU needs to get at least the draw here, or at least it would be a one-man elimination to take us to round 3, right?
Yeah,
with a significant point difference. So it would be good for LLU to win this round. Bare minimum, one-man elimination in order to take us to round 3. But anything above that would definitely be good for LLU to get in this situation. But good luck to both teams. Once again, I am Bones, apparently the Lizard fan, and this is Ray, and we're heading into the second half of round 2.
Taking a look, we are going to go ahead and immediately start chase on that gardener. She does still have the bubble online, but with the speed boost, it does look like Nightwatch is going to go ahead and get in, but we're not seeing insolence in play, which is something that we can see with the more aggressive Nightwatch players.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised at no insolence, but definitely understanding if we, well, actually, we have yet to see what the rest of this Persona web looks like. We very well could have, like, you know, confined space and, oh, but Gardener is going to try and start priming that bubble, unfortunately, just taking that hit there. Very bold play that unfortunately just didn't quite pan out. But, you know, we did see a lot of, there we are again, using that corner just to hide behind, get that bubble up. We've been seeing a lot of really just bold kiting here from OPS, and it's very entertaining to watch. But Gardner...
Go ahead.
Are we going to be able to... No, just missing that heavy hit! But it does look like we're going to be able to get her on that pallet, and it's going to be a terror shock. So that does actually bring us to full presence.
Yeah, insolence was not needed, but it does look like these ciphers are very, very healthy. We are looking at, this was a 3 cipher kite from the Gardener. Very good job. Moving again into that kind of secure tie category.
Yeah, we really only need we need a one-man elimination just to guarantee a round 3, but with that 7-point difference here after round 1, LLU really does need to aim for more. We're going to get a hit in on the Aeroplanist. Gardener will be rescued without Tide. Lucky Guy has that flashlight once again, which can be very detrimental here, but a beautiful blink right through those barrels, and we are going to get a little bit blinded as well, but Lucky Guy does not have a gun, so Gardener will be able to be safely placed on that second chair. I don't believe any other member of the team other than Aeroplanist has Tide Turners. So Aeroplanist does want to go for this rescue, but is at half health, so it's not going to be the most sustainable option. Just going to get a hit on that Lucky Guy. Yeah, I guess I feel like at this point we are somewhat accepting the round 3, but a lot of pressure here from this Lucky Guy to keep the Gardener alive.
Absolutely great job from the Lucky Guy. He actually was able to silence out the Gardener from, not the Gardener, silence the Nightwatch from, oh my god, why am I forgetting the words? He canceled out the wind.
Yes. Yeah, that
Sorry
is,
to
that
disappoint say
flashlight.
that.
No, you're fine. It's a little bit of danger here. Looks like we have switched targets onto the lawyer. Losing track of that gardener puts a little bit of a wrench in the plan to get, bare minimum one elimination. Switching targets here, it does prevent that cipher from being further decoded, but it's a little bit risky. And it's a decision. Sometimes you do have to make that decision. Pressure the cipher instead of continuing to tunnel that single survivor, just in the interest of not letting them get that cipher progress. But it does look like Lucky Guy's actually returned to that cipher, just decoding right under the Nightwatch's nose. Nightwatch on the lookout for that gardener, but is going to see the Lucky Guy here. Lucky Guy does still have a decoy as well as a good portion of that flashlight left to utilize, so there's a lot of room here for that containment in the later stages of the match, but a lot of time is being wasted here. Beautiful pallet hit, unfortunately still going to take the hit there. But Aeroplanist does have the jetpack. We're going to see that coming into play. I don't think we're going to be able to get this rescue, though, unless...
Oh,
no,
smacks right out of the sky.
Cypher's not yet primed. A Terror Shock on the Lucky Guy. Gardner only has 13% on that Cypher.
Oh no, this is a really good job for Trixie. The team was playing it risky by having so many injuries, but it looks like Trixie is going to go ahead and take advantage of that.
Yep, that does seem to be the key here. These survivors are very, very daring with their plays, but it's high risk, high reward, and that high risk is really being put on display here. Trixie playing a little bit defensive here, does have tinnitus from that Gardener, but those ciphers are still not decoded. We do have the cipher right next to the chair at about 80%. And Aeroplanist is going to return to it, so we could see that cipher being primed very soon, but looking for that shield, are we going to be able to have it primed? Yes, that is going to be primed. Gardner.
Very, very. Oh, did miss the blink, unfortunately. Just kind of allowing the team. Now we are back into the tie position. As the. Okay. Sorry. It's just so intense.
Yeah, a lot of things going on right now. Ooh, Aeroplane is kind of missing that jetpack right into the corner. There is going to go down. We do not have... It does look like we were working with Trump card here, so we have switched to teleport, but unfortunately with that missed blink, it's going to take quite some time for Trixie to catch up to the opposite gate. But it does look like we are going to reach it in time. Aeroplanist does not have self-heal, so Nightwatch is free to just leave him down there. He did kind of use it pretty brazenly, once again, coming from this team. But oh, a beautiful bubble there from the Gardener.
Yeah, honestly, great job from this Gardener. Considering she is dead on chair, all the Nightwatch has to do is go ahead and get her out, and then he has the ability to kind of focus on the other players in this match.
Yeah, but as we're seeing here, there's a lot of just room for this Gardener to work with. A little bit of mind gaming around that pallet. Unfortunately, Gardener is going to lose and will be down here. This is a guaranteed draw. We still have about 20 seconds left to teleport. Unfortunately, it does look like that gate will be opened by the time Gardener is chaired. But this is a very secure draw here. A little bit unfortunate that it wasn't more than that, but that does still give LLU the win that they need going into round 3.
Yeah, it does look like LLU was really trying to push for the win, and it was quite an interesting choice. I think I personally would have tried to keep the arrow away from the cipher, considering it was so close at that point, or maybe a switch to abnormal might have helped.
Yeah. I feel like definitely that abnormal switch really could have put a wrench in that in-game strategy, and leaving the... or even peepers, possibly, just to keep an eye on that cipher, but letting the Aeroplanist go, which is a little bit unfortunate there. But still being able to get that draw, turning things around here, and tying up the rounds. The score is still in favor of OPS. However, we do have another round. If Yuvia is able to win round 3, I do believe that would give them the win, even if they have the point deficit. So it would be 2 out of 3 rounds, yeah. Yep. I can do scores.
I can't. Great job from both teams. OPS did a really good job of just picking up from the oh my goodness, they did a really good job picking up the mistakes that the LLU Hunter made, though the LLU Hunter did play it really, really well there at the end. Looked like we could have potentially gone into a 4K situation.
Yeah, it was very push and pull in that end game there. But yeah, heading into round 3 here, we are looking at a 6 points on UVA's side to 11 points on OPS's side, which if that it's okay, yeah, it is rounds over points. So yeah, if UVA is able to win this round, they will be taking that win kind of out from under OPS. But yeah, that is what I was saying after that first round. You know, it is never over until it's over. Teams have and continue to be able to kind of bring things back around. And that is really, it's also about morale as well, you know, going into round 3 after that round 1, bringing it back around and winning round 2 is a huge morale boost for LLU here. And OPS does still have, you know, kind of that energy to them. The boldness going into this. So if they're able to continue that, kind of keep it up, keep it refined, I think that's really what they need going into round 3. But we are going to be looking at two Hunter bans. Our global bans right now, well, actually, no, I don't. Yeah, we haven't determined who will be hunting and surviving first, so I will hold that point. But OPS will be banning a map. I wonder if in this situation we would be seeing possibly a Sacred Heart ban.
Manifesting a Chinatown pick.
Chinatown pick? All right, we'll put money on that one. I don't have much stake in which map is picked. I would be worried about $1. Cool.
Yeah, 60 echoes.
Wow.
I know.
Is that even enough for a B tier?
Call me generous. I'm rarity.
As the Ivory Tower skins are releasing this week. Is it this week or next week?
I'm not buying.
And we're getting
next week.
Barmaid and Priestess.
Man, I don't know. I just work here. My uncle is Mr. Netties, though. Trust.
I do trust.
We are going to go ahead and move into the first half of round 3. Really exciting. Neither team is willing to like give up or lie down. They are going to keep going until they are unable to.
Yeah, as far as I can figure, and please correct me on this if I am wrong. If LLU wins the round, then they win. If OPS wins, or if it's a tie, then they would win. But there is no, well, yeah, there is. Well, they could probably figure out a way to take us to round 4, but I don't think that's going to be happening. Just because it would have to be like some oddly specific number. Actually, no, I don't think it. Well, no, I don't think it's possible at this point. I'm trying to do math that I don't have the brain power for, but
honestly, though, just really entertaining from each team. But it does look like this will be how it ends. Round 4 seems unlikely unless both teams are tied up.
Yeah, with a 6 to 11 point difference, I feel like there's not going to be like a deeply specific point situation where we would go to a round 4. But yeah, it's pretty much win or lose right now. With OPS does have the advantage going into this if it's win or draw the round in order to win, with Uvia having to take that win. But yeah, objective point difference versus the morale boost of the previous round. We are not going to round 4, okay? I'm doing weird math that is not applicable to a logical situation. So please do not please do not be afraid.
If LLU got a 4K and then OPS got 4.
No, I feel like in this situation it's not possible for.
I'm trying really hard to do the math. But we are going to go ahead and see a Moonlit River Park fans.
No, because they would win the round if they tied the points.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Figured it out. It is possible for the points to get tied, but Uvia would win the round if the points get tied. So they would win anyway with tied points, because it is rounds over points. Yep. We're really good at this.
Trust my math. I went to Harvard School of Math. Yes. Trust.
That's crazy.
I didn't. That's a lie. Sorry. Please don't sue me. So we are going to go ahead
How dare you?
No lie. We are going to go ahead and move right into it. We could potentially, if Moonlit is banned, we could see that Chinatown.
We could
or
see
even
that
something
Chinatown.
different.
I would probably expect a Sacred Heart Hospital pick because, well, maybe. It depends, because that would... Uvia does have the map pick here, so I feel like they were probably going to pick a map that their hunter wants to play on. But... yeah, it's very up in the air when it comes to... oh, hey Ray, guess what map just got picked?
I win.
We are going to be
on... You owe me $1.
We are going to be on Chinatown, so okay, yeah, I do owe you $1 on that. Which is it's interesting. It's definitely a pretty even map. I feel like, just thinking about the bans and the bans and the survivors that have already been banned out here. Priestess is obviously going to be banned. Cheerleader could definitely wreak a lot of havoc on this map, as well as Aeroplanist, and we do have free Aeroplanist on both sides. But
we could
we'll see.
We could potentially see a clown. Clown is really, really good on this map. We've seen Aka play him. We've seen Alf play him in IJL. Honestly, just really awesome.
Yeah, sorry for being two IJL fans commentating at once, but yeah, point calculation is not the most difficult thing in the world. I'm just bad at doing math on the fly, but I do have it written down now, so we're good.
We maybe even could see like an undead. We did see undead get chosen once upon a time on this map. It would be interesting to see, I think.
I would be worried. Well, okay, we don't know who's hunting or who's surviving first. I would be worried about an undead. Who were you saying would pick undead?
I feel like potentially, since Trixie does play as off meta a fair bit, we could potentially see something like an undead.
Mm-hmm.
But again,
I would be worried about an undead versus the kind of behavior of OPS survivors.
It should be undead versus acrobat forward.
Acrobat's global band.
Darn.
Wait, no, not global ban for OPS survivors. I don't think.
I'm just
I thought that's only global
manifesting.
ban for Uvia. So
I'm manifesting. God, what year was it? But it was that year where it was the Scars finals versus Zeta, and Shilia
that's like
played
every year.
Undead on China. I'm not done. and Shilia played Undead against Zeta on Chinatown and did get 4 escaped. And it was honestly, it was a really intense match. I recommend everybody watch it if I could remember the year.
Wow. Well, it wouldn't be this year.
No, it was not.
So we can count out. Yeah, it's always Zeta and Scars. So like that does not narrow it down. That just makes it harder, honestly.
Don't even worry about it. It's okay. It'll come back to me. No, it won't.
Well, we'll see. We'll update. We'll update later. But yeah, we will see who those Survivor and Hunter picks are shortly. Once again, OPS is going to be hunting first. LLU will be surviving first as well. So Embalmer, Mercenary, Journalist, and Acrobat are global banned for LLU survivors. So that does, you know, we're definitely going to see that Priestess ban first. Probably the Seer banned as well. Just, you know, throwing that out there as a totally baseless prediction. But yeah, I'm very interested to see, especially with who LLU decides to ban. They do have 2 Hunter bans to work with, so I would say definitely Opera Singer. Maybe, well, no, because OPS, I believe, has changed their Hunter. So I would say probably not a Gamekeeper ban coming out here. But we will see. While we work out the logistics on that, I need to figure out something else to talk about.
But yeah, it was 2022 Fall IJL.
Did you just go and find it?
Perhaps.
I mean, we do have the time.
I remember it like it was yesterday, though it was countless moons ago. Very, very intense matchup. Honestly, the way it was just down to the wire. It was down to like a pixel. It was insane. Genuinely, it's the match that like really got me into esports. Everyone should watch it.
Wow. Yeah, the match that got me into esports was Call of the Abyss 5, Sun Sisters versus, oh my god, what was it, ACT, I think? It was either ACT or MRC. It was one of those.
No, wasn't it GR?
What was it?
It was Sun Sisters versus GR, wasn't it?
Not the finals. It was like, it was some like quarterfinals match or something, but it was when Unpi played Perfumer.
Sun Sisters, I miss you every day.
I miss Sun Sisters a lot. But Perfumer's not really meta, honestly, anymore. She just feeds presence a lot. We have seen quite a few Perfumers in kind of the early stages of IJL, IVL, when people were kind of working out the kinks with how to counter Opera Singer. We did see quite a few Perfumers. MRC in particular did utilize quite a lot of Perfumer, as well as and
the Sun Sisters bring them back to us. Yui Gaming, real. I don't know. I have no idea where you were going with that. Sorry, friend.
Lucky Guy and Perfumer being the MRC Opera Singer counters. That's what I was talking about. But yeah, she has kind of she's fallen off a little bit. It's mostly just because so many Hunter, well, I don't know, that could change, honestly, because if we kind of keep going with the less so Opera Singer, but like Geisha's pretty high up in the meta, Bloody Queen right now as well. We could possibly see the return of Perfumer, but at this point I feel like there's just better options than her. Maybe like some kind of round 5 situation, but Doctor was played in Southeast Asia qualifiers for last KOA, and it went like comically badly. I have vivid memories of this because Elio made a really funny noise because I think she got terror shocked on a heal or something. Like it was something. But yeah, it was Sorry, Doctor, not so much. I feel like Doctor could be very situationally used against a Hermit, and be pretty effective, but okay, so we're going to ban Hermit and Opera Singer, so I will just kind of sadly walk away. I feel like
love loses.
love loses. First the Lizard ban, then the Hermit ban.
You know, Lizard could still be chosen on this map. You did show us the power of the
chosen.
You showed us the power of the Lizard.
I did.
Yeah. Trust. Anyways, moving on. Thank you guys.
They should stop target banning your Lizard.
We're manifesting.
We're manifesting. It hasn't happened yet. We're manifesting.
If we can manifest Lizard, we can manifest Chinatown.
You mean if we manifest Chinatown, we can manifest the Lizard? Oh, you said it backwards, but. I'm sorry. We're having too much fun. I hope you guys are enjoying this, because I am.
I'm having a great time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and putting up with me and my darling friend Bones.
I am very happy to be here. It is my first time here, and I forgot about that. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys for being such a fun chat, though. I love chat interaction.
Chat going crazy.
Chat's going a little bit crazy.
I love you, chat.
Just a little bit. I would hope that's /positive. If it was /negative, we would start having problems.
No, it's of course. I would never say anything /negative about darling chat.
Not you. We were told that we are silly people /pause.
Oh.
It's a lot of money riding on that tone indicator right now.
Tone tag.
All right, we have gotten to our bans and picks. We are going to ban Seer and Lawyer, so letting out the Priestess, but Priestess is not going to be taken just yet. We're going to lock in the Antiquarian and the Entomologist, and First Officer is going to be banned as well. I'm like triple checking this to see that I have not been deceived and Priestess is still on the table. Priestess is still on the table. On
Fiona Gilman, you will always be famous.
I am sending waves.
Mm-hmm. We're sending Fiona brainwaves directly into the team's head. Honestly, though, really exciting to see this. She's got a lot of good potential on this map. She's able to do those portals that do like the double stun, gaining the kiter a lot of distance. Those are brutal to be on the receiving end of.
Yeah, I would especially. Well, no, because I feel like we could be looking at a breaking wheel if Priestess isn't banned.
That is true. Wheel does have
and
a lot
on Chinatown as well. Chinatown is a very good map for Wheel. I feel like we might be looking at a Wheel. Yeah, they are going to lock in that Dancer. I feel like they might be seeing that Wheel coming, not taking the bait of that Priestess being open. Priestess can definitely still be utilized with a Wheel on the field, but like, it's not the best situation to be in. She's a lot more useful for like teammate support, raw kiting support, rather than, you know, as soon as Breaking Wheel enters that Wheel form. Yeah, as soon. Okay, we are going to lock in that Priestess ban at the last second here. So we could be not seeing that Breaking Wheel, but I feel like waiting this long to lock the Priestess, it's definitely risky, and it's not something that we've seen from OPS before. OPS has been pretty like on top of banning that Priestess right away, but yeah, we're waiting on that last survivor pick here from LLU. Let's see, we could we do have Gravekeeper on the table still, which wouldn't be the worst choice. And we are going to lock in that Gravekeeper. I was gonna say, if we do end up seeing that Breaking Wheel, Gravekeeper's honestly not bad. with the shovel, you can't spike when Gravekeeper's in the shovel, and especially since Gravekeeper got buffed with that kind of rechargeable, not rechargeable, but you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. The shovel you can use again.
Yeah, the energy meter shovel.
Yes. The one time an energy meter is actually good.
Taking a look, all of the survivors will be bringing borrowed time. We are seeing Flywheel on the Ante, Windows on the Ento, Tide Turner on the Grave, and Windows on that Dancer. Interesting choice. The lack of, we've only seen really one Flywheel on this team. If they're expecting a wheel, you would really intend to bring multiple Flywheels in order to counter out that snap, considering that's what kind of bumped him down into the lower tiers.
Yeah, and it looks like we've got a surprising lack of Flywheel. We've only got Flywheel on the Antiquarian, with the rest of the team carrying Broken Windows, Borrowed Time, and in the case of the Gravekeeper, we are carrying Tide Turner. And we're going to see an Axe Boy, which is a little... I'm honestly very surprised at that pick here. With the Entomologist on the field, as well as the Antiquarian. And the Dancer as well. I feel like Axe Boy is a little bit of a risk, but it's not a bad map for him. There's a lot of kind of straight areas to go through, which are pretty much tailor-made for an Axe Boy. But yeah, the lack of Flywheel as well hurts against an Axe Boy. Flywheel can be very effective against the soul snipes. But yeah, I guess we'll see.
I mean, with the Entomologist on this team, she does kind of counter the Axe Boy. She's able to eat those souls with her bees, making her kind of like a prime target to go in and rescue against this Axe Boy.
Yeah, looks like we are going to be getting our lines in here, filing into the waiting room. But yeah, I'm definitely very excited to see how this goes. Once again, we are working with pretty much win or lose condition. LLU needs to win the round in order to win. If OPS is able to draw the round or win the round, then they win. Whichever team loses, pretty much, is the situation that we're in right now. But we will be getting into the spawn points here. We've got Gravekeeper spawning in the center here, pretty standard for a rescuer. Female Dancer spawning near the hotel, ready to set up her boxes. Antiquarian spawning in the... Is that the restaurant? I can never tell from the above view, but I'm pretty sure that's the restaurant. And Entomologist is going to spawn up near the exit gate, as well as the... Is that a fountain? I don't know Chinatown callouts.
That big thing in the middle, that's a tree.
No, the one in the corner. With the cipher that I like to chase people at.
There's no fountain in Chinatown.
That's like a statue or something. I don't even know. It's the thing in the upper corner.
Oh, yeah.
The upper right. Is it a fountain? We're going to discuss this one later. We're going to get right into the match here. We've got OPS hunting and LLU surviving. Once again, LLU needs to win. OPS also needs to win or draw. And we're heading into the end of round 3. I am Bones, this is Ray, and good luck to both teams.
Absolutely. We are going to go ahead and get into it as... the Dancer puts down a box, and it is immediately broken by the Axe Boy, as he's still kind of looking for his ideal chase target. We do kind of see that he's got eyes on the Grave, who did go ahead and break that tree, priming it. But it looks like the Axe Boy is going to go ahead and commit to that Gravekeeper.
Yup, Gravekeeper as our first target's really not the worst choice, but beautiful dodge of that soul snipe there. Very, very nicely done by the Gravekeeper. Looks like we are going to be just exiting the shovel here, conserving our resources as the Axe Boy switches targets over to, it looks like the Dancer? No, we're actually going to turn around and find the Antiquarian here. Axe Boy does have Insolence and Detention here, which is kind of an interesting build to bring on an Axe Boy, but you know what? I respect it. And it's a very aggressive build as well. And, ooh, a little bit of Mind Games, and oh, a missed Flywheel as well! That is very unfortunate here for the Antiquarian. Missing that Soul Snipe as well. Are we going to be able to get the stick in? Nicely done here by the Antiquarian. Just utilizing that stick in order to extend this kite as long as she can, and the bees coming into play as well. Axeboy cannot break them, but yeah, very nicely done here just to extend this containment as long as possible. Beautiful pushback, but it looks like, yeah, nothing to really do about that hit. Entomologist coming in may want to, yeah, just going to kill those bees right away, not wanting to get them depleted any further. But that will be our first chair here at 5 ciphers remaining. Ciphers are looking not too bad, but not too great either. We're kind of in that weird middle stage of having 2 ciphers nearly done and one of them at about 50%, which is typical for having a rescuer on the team.
Yeah, honestly, though, really good job from the Antiquarian and a fantastic job from the Axeboy. Insolence here seemed to be a good choice since he did have that presence to assist him with that Antiquarian's chase. It does look like the Entomologist is here. Will she be coming in for the rescue? No, looks like she's just going to provide a distraction so the Gravekeeper can go ahead and make it safely to the chair. And the Ento going ahead and taking a hit, a little unnecessarily, I feel, kind of pushing him towards that full presence and trying to harass with the bees, going ahead and taking a hit. Unfortunately, the Antiquarian's distance that she got is quickly closed by that Restful Road, which is just kind of... Oh, unfortunately, a missed swing, as well as that missed soul, but we are going to go ahead and see the Antiquarian get downed and brought onto her second chair.
Yeah, very nicely done here from the Axeboy, just closing that distance right away. Really, again, you know, it is what I was saying before, where the structure of Chinatown is so, like, vertical and horizontal. It's very just straight lines. It's a little bit like Ever Sleeping in that sense, but it makes it very, very good for an Axeboy. You know, you can just Restful Road straight away down the street and into the survivors, and it makes breaking distance like this a lot easier. But it does look like we will be just leaving the Antiquarian to rest, and Axeboy does have teleport here. Switching on to the Gravekeeper. Nicely done with that soul, and it looks like... Oh, wait, I think that may have actually knocked Gravekeeper out of the shovel. Very, very nicely done. And oh, a Terror Shock as well!
Oh my goodness, beautiful job from the Axeboy team. Oh my god, they're just not giving up anything at all. Not letting up any ground as they go ahead and just really just playing an ultra aggressive Axeboy here.
Yeah, that Insolence choice really was kind of indicative of the way that OPS was going to play this Axeboy, and it's really starting to show. With 2 ciphers remaining here, 3 survivors remaining, that is, and 1 survivor on chair, obviously. Not a great situation here in terms of trying to regain that cipher progress, and it looks like they're in a position to cipher lock themselves as well. All 3 of those are, of the last few ciphers. Oh no! Unfortunately, it looks like the Entomologist got off of her bees just a little too early, going ahead and being able to eat that soul and then getting a Terror Shock on the rescue. Honestly, a phenomenal job, and it looks like we are going to go ahead and see a weaponized Entomologist. No, it's not worth it. Playing around this chair here, we do have the soul back off of its cooldown, not going to quite hit the female dancer there, and another Terror Shock! Going to be a 4-man elimination here for OPS, and that's gonna win it for them, isn't it? With a 4-man elimination,
so. Because
the best case scenario is a tie, which would be OPS guaranteed win regardless. So I guess are we going to continue is the real question.
I'm not sure if they're just going to play it out for the sake of sportsmanship, but that is going to go ahead and be a 4-kill, absolutely stunning gameplay from that Axeboy. Camping out that chair was absolutely amazing. Yeah, taking a look, we are going to see that Axeboy with 3 Terror Shocks in that match. And nobody really going over 90 seconds of containment, the highest containment time being 71 seconds from that Entomologist.
Yeah, that was absolutely incredible Axeboy gameplay, and I was worried there about the Entomologist, about the about the kind of the team comp going into this was it was worrying, but that was just such an impressive Axeboy gameplay, and just very, very well done by OPS there. That is going to be OPS win. It looks like we are discussing the possibility of going into the second half.
Just for the sake of
for fun.
Yeah. Just for fun.
I think we should let the lizard out.
I think we should let the lizard out too. Let Lucino loose, as the youngins say.
Not loose.
Yeah, no, let him loose on the map so that he can go and no, loose as in LOOSE, not LOOSE.
Okay.
Loose, not lose. There is a difference, trust and believe. But again, honestly, just a great job from both teams.
Yeah, just really putting the skills on display, and very, very well done here by Uvia as well, just bringing that back around. That second round was incredibly done. And yeah, it's unfortunate that the third round has ended up like it has been, but it does look like we are going to see the second half of round 3 just for fun. So yeah, very excited to see kind of what this pans out as. Hoping that we end up seeing that lizard, since I would hope that we don't do bans, because it is, fun. But we'll see.
I think we will go ahead and continue. It really depends on if the team really wants to play bans, or if they're saying no to the bans. I think they're just gonna go ahead and have a time, play who play they want.
Yeah, just waiting on the logistics of the match here, but I do think it is just going to be playing what we want, just to kind of close out the match, or close out today on a fun note. Oh,
yeah,
and tomorrow... Oh, we both got the reminder at the same time.
Yeah, we were like, yeah! Don't forget! Tomorrow, 3 p.m. EST, AT versus GWS. Be there or be square. Please show up. We're having a great time.
Yeah, 3 p.m. EST, AT versus GWS with a little bow. It's going to be a coquette match, and I don't know what that means. I don't have TikTok. But yeah, do we know who's commentating for that?
No.
Okay, we'll find out. But yeah, do be there, do continue to support the tournament. It has been such a fun time being here. Thank you again to both teams, as well as the tournament organizers for letting me in, letting me wreak havoc. And commentate. I've had a lot of fun. Thank you, Ray, for putting up with me.
Thank you for putting up with me.
There it is, that second cowboy that we were kind of talking about, ruminating about earlier. But I guess we will wait and see on Please Lizard.
It does look like we are potentially seeing a Mad Eyes instead of the Lizard. Sorry, Bones. Love losers.
Or a Nightmare. I would be happy about a Nightmare. Duke White Raven, very classy. The turtleneck. That is going to be a Nightmare lock. So a little bit of Nightmare representation here. Always fun. That is my other main, sort of. But yeah, we are going to see a little bit of bird action coming into this fun round. Fun round today.
Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and have a grand time. You know, caca, go Nightmare. Looks like we are gonna go ahead and do the E spawn. And well, are we gonna maybe see a Merc first chase?
I would be excited about a Merc first chase. You know, after the mercenary nerf, it is not the worst choice in the world. Sorry, that got me. But yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world to first chase a mercenary, but it does look like we're going to immediately get that bird on a Cypher. And is it going to pick a target? Yes, it looks like Prospector has picked up that bird. We could be seeing a reenactment of Da Capo potentially, but it does look like we're going to loop back around to where that mercenary is decoding in the hotel. Which one is this? I don't remember. Yeah, mercenary is going to be our first chase here. All of the other survivors will be decoding, which is a little bit dangerous because we have survivors that are good at decoding.
Mercenary's doing a really good job. Oh, and getting a drop down hit. Oh, absolutely amazing
Nicely
job.
done. Just beautiful mind games here from Trixie. Mercenary using 2 out of 3 elbow pads just to kind of panic and run away as fast as possible. But that was a gorgeous drop down hit, really knowing the Nightmare's hitbox, and nicely done there.
Absolutely great job.
Just cutting off that elbow pad immediately. Mercenary is going to go down, and yeah, we will be seeing our first chair. We are at 5 ciphers remaining. It will, honestly, a little bit less cipher parts than I thought. It does look like this is going to be about a 2 cipher kite, with Cowboy coming in for a rescue, possibly, and post-chair harassment, I would say, is pretty safe to assume. But yeah, very nicely done there by Trixie. Ooh, beautiful flywheel as well.
Flywheel.
And using the lasso as well, and the Cowboy is going to get a very nice long pallet stun. That is really showing off that second S badge NAEU over here on the Cowboy, and definitely providing a lot of context to that ban from earlier. But we are going to switch right back to the Mercenary, who does have a Tiger Tail, and wow, right at the edge of the Nightmare hitbox. We're going to take that second hit. Mercenary will be going down very shortly. He was rescued before half, so he does have a second chair to kind of sit tight on, but that is going to be our second chair here at 4 ciphers remaining. Very nearly 3 ciphers. I do think there's a cipher primed somewhere out there, or at least pretty much primed. Or hard at work. Okay, a lawyer has that 85% cipher going.
Yeah, lawyer's the one chugging away at it. Honestly, though, just absolutely great job from this Cowboy, doing a fantastic job, and is going to go ahead and get a hit on that mercenary, just not really letting up on that pressure.
Honestly, a good choice to not body block there. Cowboy not wanting to take kind of excess hits. And we do have quite a bit of lasso still to utilize, so Cowboy is definitely going to be staying in the area here. Is going to get birded, though, so we do have eyes on Cowboy. But with this instant lasso in play here, are we going to see it come through? No, we're going to see a drop. Nightmare is going to pick up a magnet from the Prospector, but are we going to be able to pull? No. Mercenary will be eliminated here. We've got, it looks like both of the final ciphers are at around 50-60%, so this can definitely be possibly a win situation, probably a draw situation here, assuming, you know, detention, Nightmare, etc. But with a bird, we're going to switch targets over to the lawyer.
Honestly, just a really strong job from everybody on the team. The lawyer going ahead using that book to go ahead and just kind of avoid as much as he can. before he can, but did unfortunately kind of walk into him a little bit, not utilizing that book is on its last legs.
Yep, looks like we might be switching targets here. Very, very aware of the decoding. Unfortunately, missing the lawyer on that bird that was thrown. But switching over to the Cowboy, this does set up for a very clean pallet stun. Cowboy knows it. Nightmare knows it. That is just going to be a free hit there. But, oh, and the Cypher was primed. It is going to pop right there. Beautiful, beautiful flywheel once again. And wow, great use of the lasso as well. Oh! And there's our Da Capo moment. Prospector is going to go down. We do have teleport in play, so we are going to be able to pressure these gates pretty effectively, especially since Prospector is going to be chaired at this one, but Lawyer is just going to continue to sit tight kind of over at the other gate. Does look like we're going to bird over there and just get the Lawyer down. We do have teleport. Are we going to use it? Yes, we're going to use it now, right before Cowboy gets to the chair. But it looks like Cowboy actually saw it coming and is just going to hide.
Does look like he is going to go ahead and be able to get that skew off.
Oh, but waiting a little bit more. The rescue didn't go off. Wait, the rescue. Oh, but using that heavy hit, Prospector baiting out the flywheel, and Cowboy is going to go down. It does not look like Prospector is going to be close enough to really get that stun going, and Lawyer is back at that exit gate. It's nearly open. We don't have the bird teleport up just yet. Are we going to be able to cut that gate off? No, the gate is going to be open. Lawyer is home free. Are we going to return to the Cowboy's chair? Yes, we are going to be able to return to the Cowboy's chair just after that rescue. And Prospector, it looks like, is going to take the kite here. And a beautiful Terror Shock right at that pallet. Cowboy still in the area. We don't have teleport up for another 35 seconds. Cowboy does still have quite a bit of lasso left to use. I think we could just see a raw run to the gate. I don't think Nightmare is going to be able to catch up to this. Unless...
Here's
going to be very, very close. It's going to be very close. Cowboy looking for that pallet stunner just for an opportunity. Are we going to be able to make it? Oh, but a flywheel. Are we going to be able to crawl out the gate? Yes, Cowboy is going to be able to get out.
And the Prospector has gone ahead and picked himself up. Teleporting, unfortunately, but the Prospector is not nearby. It looks like Prospector's trying to check for dungeon spawns or loop around to the next gate.
Oh, Prospector does have crows, but he's very close to that other gate. I don't know if Nightmare's going to be able to catch up.
I don't think he will. Unfortunately, teleport's on cooldown, and that bird TP is on cooldown as well. Looks like it is just going to go ahead and be a mad dash to the exit gate.
We get a Thank you for the
emo
show. But yeah, very, very well played there. If this was a serious match, I do think that we would have been a little bit more diligent on camping that chair, making sure that the gates weren't open. But this was a throwaway match there. It's going to be a 3-man escape here for OPS, who of course have already won. But thank you guys for sitting with us for the end of that. And yeah, I like Nightmare. So I am satisfied.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Great plays from both teams. Absolutely phenomenal. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been absolutely great. Do not forget, again, that tomorrow we will once again be here. I don't know if it's going to be us directly, but My Mellow is going ahead and having another match. AT versus GWS at 3 p.m. EST. Don't forget, mark it on your calendars. We look forward to seeing you.
Yep, and thank you so much for being so awesome in the chat. Thank you to the organizers and the hosts as well for putting on this tournament, letting us narrate it for you. And yeah, hopefully I will be back. But other than that, I think that's all from us.